So the recent COVID-19 pandemic has created mass panic buying in a lot of retail stores with things like waters, toilet paper, Lysol, just basic necessities. And so what has been done for this is the government has placed buy limits, which is what a lot of stores have also indicated as well, which keeps consumers from buying a certain amount of products. So you can only buy 2 rolls of toilet paper, 2 gallons of water, things of that sort, where there's just that buy limit that you can't leave with more than what they say that you can leave with. And so this is not a good measure to combat that panic buying, because one, this prevents expansion, this keeps Americans from getting what they need. So what we need to do is allow Americans to just continue to purchase how they would normally purchase. Basically, let them panic buy. And so what this will allow to do is allow for lower prices and allow for everybody to get their goods if done the right way. So how we're going to go about that is do not set buy limits. So the problem is that we are not allowing for expansion because of the consumer buy limits. And so what we need to do is prevent that. And so by this problem that we have here, this keeps the country from lowering prices, because with this mass panic buying, there's so many products being bought that we can't keep the prices lower. And so this also keeps us from having more imports. And so what imports do is that is what allows prices to go lower. Because if we only keep the production domestically, then we can't let the products go lower, because those domestic companies are not going to go below a certain point because they know where their price range is. And so the solution for this problem would be to let people buy whatever they want. And so what this will do is this will encourage imports for the goods that we need. And so when that happens, we will then have a much more quantity of those products, because we're allowing other countries to import those products into our country, basically doubling the market for toilet paper or water. And so according to Forbes, according to Economics Help, the sell limits cause a bigger fall in the economic welfare than anything else. And so without this solution, we are creating a dive in our economy, because we're just allowing everything to be bought up without providing a solution to that, without finding a way to keep those products on the market. And so according to Forbes, they say that panic buying can be extremely rational, but with a strategy. And so that's what this strategy is we're going to encourage more imports, and then we're going to lower the prices because of those imports. And so when we allow these imports, it's going to create more competition between the domestic companies as well as the international companies that are now importing into our country, which are going to then reduce those prices for Americans. And it's also going to keep more products on the line. So now we won't have a shortage, and we're going to have lower prices. And so how we're going to go about this is we're just going to kind of have a laissez-faire approach here, and we're just going to let consumers be consumers. We're just going to let them consume as much as they want to, because those imports are going to be putting more products right back on the shelves as soon as they buy them. And so then after we're going to do that, we're going to create a temporary tariff discount so that these imports can be imported at a lower price, so that they can be more competitive with the domestic market. Now, once the market settles after the whole COVID-19 panic passes and leaves us in its wake, we can raise those tariffs back up to where they would be. But at the meantime, we need to lower that so that they can be competitive with the domestic market and lower those prices as well for the time being. And so according to Investopedia, panic buying causes price inflation if there's no planned help buying process. So if we don't lower those tariffs, then we're just going to create more price inflation, because those imported goods are going to be too expensive for the average American because of the tariffs that we have. So we need to lower those to keep that inflation down. And so the third and final step to that process would be to help coordinate with the retail stores on how to get those imports into their stores. So we need to help coordinate how the trucks are going to get there, how the imports are going to get from the ports themselves to the trucking facilities to then be brought to those retail stores. So the solution to this problem would be to just let consumers be consumers. And then after we allow that, then we got to decrease the tariffs on the imports, and then try to figure out a way to bring those imports to the production lines into the retail stores as well. And then this will effectively negate all of the panic buying that we have and decrease that price gouging it will also keep down price inflation, and it will lower prices for everyone as well. So it's basically a win-win for everybody here. It's a win for the companies, it's a win for the people, and everybody gets the goods that they need.